I've performed this piece maybe 10 times, but only this time did it really hit me that, especially in the first movement, so much of it is about kind of celestial bodies, these kind of like planets and stars and things like that. You hear this with this effect of the harmonics and the crotales. She clearly is starting from a place that is not of this world, but then of course it goes to kind of very human experiences of rage, brutality, kind of these like very sometimes poisonous emotions.
It was written for Hilary Hahn, and so I know that Jennifer was very impressed with Hilary Hahn's technique of playing harmonics, and so she wanted to highlight that sense of space at the beginning using harmonics and the glockenspiel and percussive instruments and the harp to create this very specific color. Also in the second movement, you explore these different ranges and colors of the low range of the violin, which I think is wonderful and special.
Of course, that's a blessing, knowing exactly the character and the identity of the piece that a composer wants, but it also at times can be a bit of a curse since it's so clearly, personally tailored for her. So it's been fun sort of stepping into her shoes briefly, but obviously trying to wear this piece in my own way.
It's a concerto that takes a long time to sort of wrap your head around. Each time I open the score, there's something new, a lot of new things. It's definitely a concerto that can sort of reinvent itself each time you do it.
What I appreciate about this piece, and for an audience member, and even for me, the first many times that I played this piece, it is so florid and very intricate in its sort of details on top of a very quite traditional and very simple architecture. So at first glance, certainly, there is this feeling of being overwhelmed with how do I line up all these things and all these flourishes and all these details that I have to take care of. But ultimately, the kind of ground support underneath it is recognizable and very familiar.
Certainly I miss the audience, and but I think we've had to become quite flexible during this pandemic, and it feels just great to be on stage and to be working together and making music. I think everyone appreciates that, and I sense that through the orchestra, and being as a soloist to fly all the way here and to quarantine for 7 days just to play this concerto. And I think that says a lot about his commitment and the commitment of all of us, the musicians, to go to the very end of our limits just to serve the art and to make music. And that's why it's not a job for us, it's a life force, it is a way of life.
Obviously, these are not ideal conditions, but they offer some positive elements too. This will be the first video recording of the Higdon Concerto, so with these conditions, we actually have the opportunity to create something that actually has value beyond this coronavirus time too.